What up, guys? It's Monday. It's the first day of this week's challenge, which is all about introspecting, looking within, observing ourselves throughout the day. What limiting beliefs are we telling ourselves? Being observant of how we act throughout the day, the actions we take as a result of who we believe we are. Self-image is really what this week is about, because we want to clarify this picture. Specifically, this week we are about the negative beliefs, the negative self-image that make us take bad decisions, that make us act in a way that's not, well, it's not in alignment with our ideal self-image. Because if this is our self-image, we have the ideal self-image here, and we want to move towards becoming more like that. That's the outcome we want. So we constantly want to work towards that. But in order to do that, we need to first establish this picture. We need to have a clarity in where we are standing today and how it affects us. And so what we're doing this week is that we're getting that clarity, but also looking into why we have that self-image. Because if we want to change to this better image, well, we need to understand why we are having that current picture and how it affects us. So that's why we observe ourselves throughout the day, really try to be aware, try to be present, doing some serious self-observation. Then sometime during the day or straight away, analyze the data you collect, process, and go back in your childhood or whenever things happen that you think may have created this self-image. Looking back, asking yourself, well, I act in this way, but why? What could be the cause for my actions? So, for instance, today I had to ask 2-3 colleagues for some help in the CAD program where I'm working my models, because I'm quite new to that. Constantly had to ask a lot of questions, and my instant feeling within myself is that I feel stupid, like, oh, I don't want to ask things because it makes me come off as a stupid person. At least that's the self-image I have, that I'm a stupid person, that I'm a fraud. But so the power in realizing this, that okay, this is how I feel when I want to ask questions, and it makes me don't really ask what I really want to ask, because I'm a bit afraid of how it may make me seem. So it holds me back, it hinders my development, how rapidly I can improve. But so we ask ourselves, I ask myself, why is that? So why do I have that belief that I'm a stupid person? And so I go back and I can find a lot of situations throughout my upbringing that answer that question for why I have this belief. And by actually taking the flashlight and put the light on the events that shaped the way I feel about myself. Because when things happen when we're younger, we're taking these events in on such a deep level that it creates emotional scars within us. But now when we have distanced ourselves from things, when several years has passed, or we're just more mature and we can think about it in a more rational, observant way, when we can make that analysis, we can process things, realize why we see ourselves in a certain way, it kind of dissolves the power that these scars have. It makes us heal ourselves. At least that's the idea. That's what people do when they go to a psychologist. You know what I mean. And that's what I, from my own experience, have found that it really works. to find the root cause and to argue with yourself for why it doesn't make sense to let that thing affect you in such a tremendous way. It really doesn't. People change, situations change. Maybe what was important when you was a small kid and really shaped you to the way you are today when you're a grown up, maybe that thing really isn't so important anymore. Maybe it shouldn't affect you the way it does. So that's what we're doing this week. That's what I've been doing today. It really is powerful. Because I was sitting down on the train for like 15 minutes, just going through the day. So the day has passed and I'm going home and I'm doing some reflection, introspection, looking through my observations that I've had throughout the day, trying to analyze what can be the root cause for my limiting beliefs or just doubts I have in myself. And specifically, I was focusing in on one thing that really is, it's a weak spot within me. It's something that really affects how I act. First, I realized that was something that affected my day today, that I acted in certain ways because of this limiting belief or something that happened when I was younger. So when I was sitting down on the train with my notebook, I wrote down all the things I could think of for why it is this way, and I actually wrote down like 10 events or things that had created emotional scars within me. But with reasoning with myself for why it really wasn't relevant no more and why I accepted that it had the effect it had back then, but today it doesn't matter at all. Those 15 minutes fundamentally changed the way I feel about that thing, my self-image about that, how it affects me. And it's just so powerful to do this. It only takes, you can do this in 15 minutes and it can have a tremendous change in your life. So that's why I really, really urge you to do this. So I'm not gonna go on for any more. I just wanted to share this experience I've had today and maybe clarify a little bit. If you have any thoughts or comments on this, please share them. Otherwise, good luck and do this, because it is important and really has the capacity to change some real things within you. My name is Alexander and I'm signing out. Bye guys. Why am I I'm so stupid. Morning guys. It's Monday, another week. All in on self-observation this week, finding limiting beliefs. Already started out in a great way, because I didn't plan to continue with the Iceman Wim Hof method, which I did last week. Awesome challenge, by the way. But when I started to self-observe myself on the train, came up like a limiting belief. No, I don't have the energy to do that breathing exercise. It takes a little bit of energy actually. But then I went into the questioning, why can't I do it? It's not gonna benefit you. So I did it, and I just pushed myself in the jogging, and why can't you run a little bit faster? So this whole thing has started off with me pushing myself so much further than I usually do. And the adrenaline rush from the breathing exercise is amazing. But I mean, that wasn't the full intent of this week. It is good to push yourself, but you also need to find the real answers sometimes, because it's answers that will fundamentally change you. It's good to find motivation once in a while, but if that motivation is so temporary, it can drive you for short bursts. But for the long-lasting change, so we don't maybe need those bursts. We can just raise our base level. To do that, to be able to have that as the normal state, we need to follow the thoughts through. So this evening I'm gonna reflect on the things that came up this morning that made me instead push myself. But still, it's an interesting reaction to this challenge so far. And now I'm gonna do a nice, not so nice, ice cold shower because I just want to actually, because I really want the result. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to look through the videos I did on last week's challenge, the Wim Hof method, the special breathing exercises I did this morning, but also the cold showers.